Hey guys, welcome to my little garden. And these are my container onions that I started from seeds indoors way back in January. And I planted them up this spring into these 30-gallon tubs. And today it's looking like my Walla Walla onions are ready for harvest. So you can see all the green stalks have flopped over, which is a sign that they are just about ready for harvesting. And we are got some rainy days coming here over the next week. And you do kind of want to harvest these when they're dry. You don't want to be harvesting them then when they're super soggy and have that extra moisture. So I'm just going to show you how I harvest my Walla Walla onions, how I store them to cure them and get them ready for long-term storage. So as I mentioned, one of the signs that you look for that tells you that your onions are probably ready to be harvested is that the stalks start to soften and flop over near the base here. So you can see that's happening with most of these. They've all flopped over. They're starting to develop a little bit of a brown skin and kind of, drying up and dying off around the stem here. So I am going to just start pulling these out. Some of them aren't as big as I'd hoped. I think I may have planted them a little bit too close together, but some of them have balled up really nice. And these I will be curing and hopefully storing away. And these will last me, well into the winter. So when you pull it, you just want to be careful not to, rip the stalk off. You don't want this to be cut off right now until it's cured. So I'm just going to grab and gently pull it out. And there is my first onion harvest of the season. So I can just keep pulling these out. It's been a couple days since we had rain, so the soil isn't too moist, which is good. But I'm going to focus on these big ones first. Again, I said these are Walla Wallas. They're not as big as they can grow. I've seen much bigger, but I'm pretty happy with the size of these. So for those first few days after you pick them, you want to just make sure you're laying them out somewhere where they are going to get some good airflow. I have this old mesh wagon, garden wagon, that works perfectly because it's got lots of holes in it. If you have some kind of screen or maybe some baskets, tubs that have, mesh bottom or lots of airflow, those will work as well. As I said, you don't want to break off the stems just yet. And if you plan on braiding or storing them on some kind of rope, you want to just keep those on there. They're still quite wet and moist. I don't want to cut them off right now because I want this to dry and cure some more. Some of these onions like this that are a little bit smaller, I will probably just use them up, as for cooking right now. I also, once I cure them a little bit, I chop up and freeze some of them. These smaller ones, chop them up in my little veggie chopper so that you have some onions all ready to go in your cooking. So that's what I like to do with these smaller ones. So these come out fairly easy, but again, you just want to make sure that you don't break those stalks when you're pulling them out. I did do that on some of these smaller ones. I was pulling a little too hard, too fast, and I broke the end off of them. So there'll be ones that I probably will need to use up sooner than later because they probably won't cure very well. But they are fairly easy to pull out of the ground. I'm a container gardener, and so onions has been something that has worked really well for me in containers. As you can see, they maybe aren't as big as, I've seen others that grow them in the ground, but I get a pretty good harvest of onions from this method. So in this third tub, I have red onions that I also started from seed and planted here. So you can see the stalks haven't really started to tip over. Some of them have, some of these bigger ones, but some, not all of them have yet. So I'm going to just leave those ones that haven't fully flopped over in here. Maybe I'll pull these couple ones here that are starting to flop over. So that's some of the red onion. Maybe this one too. But again, I think I'm just going to leave these in here for another week or so until they fully flop over, and then I will harvest these. Oh, I see some. Yeah, grab them down close to the bottom. It's not bad, hey?
Oh, nice big one.
Hey guys, just want to let you know if you're looking for a friendly all-year gardening space packed with tips, challenges, plant-loving people, come and join our free community, Gardeners Growing Together, located on the Skool platform. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Let us know in the comments what kind of onions you're growing this year. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video.